So why do people fall in love is a question that we hear a lot of. And when you ask kids, why do people fall in love? The answers they're going to give you has something to do with how they smell or perfume, or you get shot by an arrow. Our kids have no idea on what it takes to make relationships work, why we do it. I remember when I was young, most of the people around me were unhappily married. I never thought I'd get married. And yet, sure enough, I met my wife and I wound up getting married. When I went to the firehouse, and everybody in my firehouse was married except me, and I told them, hey guys, I'm getting married. I was expecting they'd be happy. I'm joining the club. And almost every one of them said, don't do it. So, what is it about this? What is love? I mean, if we can't answer that question, I think we're in trouble as a society. And most of us under this impression it's this mysterious mixture of sex and sentiment. We fall in it, we fall out of it. We're not really sure what it is. And I think that's dangerous to have such an imprecise definition of what love is. I think we have cracked the code of what love is. I think love is this need within all of us to be part of something bigger than ourselves, to be attached to another, to fit in, to be seen, to be cherished, to be comforted. What's so cool is everywhere you go on this planet, people are looking for exactly the same thing, despite all the differences in culture. So this need to be in love, to be seen, it's how we thrive. It's how we do the best. So I know a lot of people in the field of marriage and family therapy, especially a lot of the younger generation is using people reluctance to, or the failure of marriages. So say marriages, for example, if 40% or 50% end in divorce, people are saying, well, isn't that evidence that maybe this is something that we've outgrown? And yet I would like to put a different twist on it. I'd like to say, how is it possible that over 60% of people meet one person that they look for all their needs to be met? They have no guide or manual for understanding love. And yet somehow these two people figure it out for a lifetime when either one of them could find someone else at any point. I mean, there's something deep within all of us that loves being attached, feeling safe, feeling connected. So it really comes down to the secret to any relationship is based on the quality of the engagement. When there's high degrees of presence in a relationship, those relationships thrive. Most people think a relationship ends because people fall out of love. It's actually not true. What happens is the distance in that great relationship gets too great. So I give you an example. I like to look at it. There's 3 roads to connection. There's a high road where the honeymoon period, we have great sex, we go on vacations, we really enjoy each other. And everybody wants to do that fun stuff. The middle road is like the grind of life, the kids, the bills, mowing the lawn, all the stuff that we just have to do to keep going. The low road is the challenges in life, the fears, the doubts, the insecurities. Couples that have the best relationship can do all 3 of these roads together. And yet that's not a definition most people are talking about in love. They're expecting love to be easy, that it's supposed to just be this high road. And that's not really realistic. And actually the research is saying the more that you focus on just having this easy, great honeymoon period for your whole relationship, it gets harder and harder for that relationship to work. And then you can't do the low road together. You can't talk about problems. So before you know, it's all a grind. And then you have to defend yourself from that grind. If you have to defend yourself and hide parts of who you are, then there isn't so much to engage with. And that's really what happens in most relationships. We wind up hiding parts of who we are because it's going to lead to a fight or it's going to make the other person feel bad. And the more we start to hide ourselves, the less there is of us to engage with. So again, if you see couples that make it versus couples who don't, they all have the same issues. The really only difference between the two is the couples that make it, that have the best relationships. They have this ability to notice the distance creeping in and they can repair. They can find a way towards each other. And that makes all the difference in the world.